Oh. Hello.
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 I did watch the Three Stooges this weekend.
Oh yeah? That's a good reference from the fucking 60s, 50s.
If you are not, if you can't go back to the Three Stooges and laugh, like just pure physical.
Sure.
You don't have the Three Stooges?
Sure. I never look for them though on TV.
No, neither do I.
Okay.
I don't look for them. And
But they'll make me laugh.
you know what
Physical comedy.
Yeah, for me, the Three Stooges, you know what they're like
This is
right
an
now?
interesting start to the podcast.
They're
We're
like-
talking about the three fucking Stooges.
But let me equate Three Stooges to you. Three Stooges to you, to me, are like the song Sweet Home Alabama. I never search it out. And as a matter of
Okay.
fact, a lot of times if you ask me about it, I'll be like, man, I don't know if I could ever hear that
that's
again.
kind of country,
Right?
bro.
But I've heard it so many times. But then it turns on every now and then. I'm not expecting it. I'm like, all right.
That's one of Michael Hayes' the guy who was like my teacher at WWE. They used to call him the Fabulous Freebird. Michael P.S. Hayes. The P.S. stood for pure sexy. Yeah, and
I love that.
He's still alive. He's amazing. He looks exactly the fucking same. And that was one of his favorite songs. And I always look at him and be like, dude, you are so fucking country. And he'd be like, you got that right.
Yeah.
He's so proud of it.
Oh man, P.S. stands for Pure Sexy. In New York, it stands for public school. But not
Not when you're from Georgia.
Josh Wolf,
Freddie Prinze drinking coffee.
Prinze, and the Wolf. Man, we haven't had a pod since the Boston
I
live.
know, man. How was it for you?
I have to tell you, I thought it was in our top 5
Of all time?
of all time.
We haven't done 100 yet, but that's still a lot.
This is I think 97, and so, but I think it's in our top 5. It had a little bit of everything. It was funny. It had some heart. It had some information. You know, you dropped a lot of knowledge.
We're very informative.
Yeah, I was extra stupid the entire show.
It felt like a normal level of
stupid.
I didn't think you went off the rails. I thought you directed it quite nicely.
But I feel like it was really one of in our top 5. Where do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I hated every second of it.
You were so good, dude.
I hated it. It was super awkward, totally horrible. I hate not being in control of the environment. In the same way, like on a movie, I would always rather shoot on a lot, on a fake city, than a real city, because I never want anything to interfere with what I'm trying to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's why I didn't like theater. By the way, I would do it again.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate it. I agree it was in our top 5.
Yeah.
I was cracking up the whole night, and as soon as it was over, I was like, oh, thank God. I'm just glad the club owner was nice. Everybody there was super cool and chill. But no, the whole time I was just thinking, when's something gonna go wrong?
Well, that's
The whole time.
the best part.
For you guys, for everyone else. For me, I like to control what I can control.
Yeah.
And this is an environment. That's hard to say, man, because you got to use "and" when the word starts with a vowel.
That's true.
And environment.
Well, sometimes with an H too.
I don't think so. I think it'll
Sometimes.
maybe if it's a soft H. I'll give you that.
Soft H.
I don't think that's true, but we're gonna go with it. But here,
No, you're right. It's not
we
good.
can control everything. Like, if there's noise, it's because we want that air conditioner on.
Yeah.
And if that noise is like, Freddie, that air conditioner is killing me, then Josh and I are like, yeah, but we're hot, so it's on. We control everything. There, we control nothing. Nothing. Although I guess we haven't really controlled our little thing
Yeah,
here.
no, I mean, listen.
The podcast machine, as I call it, has like died 10 times. So I guess maybe I'm wrong.
But
it's a me issue.
The things could go wrong. I think. Okay, ready? Try this hat on. Tell me if it fits. Yeah, I like that. One of my teachers in school used to say that.
My grandpa used
when
to
he was
say that.
trying to explain something, he'd be like, "Try this hat on. Let me tell me if it fits." I'm like, "Oh, all right."
You're all feeling yourself with your grandpa talk. That's what's sick, is like, you're actually a grandpa,
Yeah.
so that doesn't even hurt your feelings. You get even more confident. You're like, fuck yeah, put that fucking hat on.
Doubling
and see
down.
if it fits, cowboy.
Down. I think that energy that you're talking about, and I feel it too, but I don't look at it as something could go wrong, and I'm waiting for it to.
You could laugh your ass off if something went wrong, and it would you would flow with it.
Yes. I look at it more like with excitable, as in anything could happen.
And that's what I think. That's what's great, I think, about watching pro wrestling. You know, the live show. And now with social media, it's crazy. I remember one time this wrestler named Kofi Kingston, and I love Kofi. I know Kofi. He blew a spot off the top rope, slipped and kind of fucked it up, and tried to like save it, but it was an unsavable thing. And now with social media, because everyone was like memeing it to him, right? But he had fun with it the same way you do, because he's a live performer like you are. And he just completely was like, hey, even when I'm bad, I'm sexy. Like he just plays it and doesn't care, man. Like, and that is what I think people get excited about. That's why sort of the last bastion of live TV is really sports. Yeah. Because you never know what your team's going to do.
It's the ultimate reality show.
You hope for it in Saturday Night Live. Sometimes you get it. Depending on the cast. But it's a tricky thing to get in today's day and age. And I think you're right. That's why people dig it.
And I will tell you, what I would say is to you, and I can't wait till we do another live one, but I think that next live one will also be in our top 5. Because
it probably will be.
That energy that you feel is for me too, is channeled into the show.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But I know me well enough to know what parts of me change and what parts don't, and that shit ain't gonna change.
No, that won't change. And I'll tell you, for me, like,
by the way, I agree. I think it'll be funny. I think it'll have heart. I think it'll be informative. I think it'll be in our top 5 until we've done 5 of them. Then they'll be within our top 6. But I'll hate it.
You know, what's crazy is that when the audience gets there, for me, there's a different instinct that kicks in. I'm sure you, like, there's a difference between me here and me there.
Oh, yeah. You are way, it's not chill. Here, you don't give a fuck. The stage is your house. Yeah. And you treat your house different than you do work. Yeah. Like, you don't look at that as work. Like, I saw when people didn't take their shoes off or were speaking up when they shouldn't have, you legit, like, walked right over it. I was just looking at you. And it wasn't that you shushed them. Here's how the shush it. It was so good. You just walk up, and he bends down, he squats down, so his legs are bent about 90 degrees the way you talk to your kid. And all you hear is, shh. I ran out of breath, but you went longer. And then they looked up and you were like, hey, we're still talking. And I literally was like, yeah, that's your space. Like, you own that. Like, I couldn't do that. I'd just be like, yo, man, shut up.
This weekend in Ann Arbor, by the way, great shows. But there was
by the way, Michigan, like, apparently loves me right now. Because I guess I wrote a tweet about some journalist saying Urban Meyer was getting time served, and I'm like, yo, B, time served? That's usually reserved for like fucking convicted felons getting out of jail.
He's getting paid.
All these Ohio State fans basically thought I was condemning Urban Meyer when I wasn't at all, and which was hysterical, by the way. You see like what people really want to say when that emotion comes out. So the stuff they wrote is super gross and awesome. And then all these, like, I guess Michigan is. By the way, just so we're clear, I've never watched a college football game in my life. It's bad football. I watch pros, not kids. I don't watch Yaffle either. But sorry. But all these like Michigan fans were like, dude, you're my god, bro, legend. Yeah. Freddie killing it on Twitter. I'm like, who are all these guys? Somebody was like, oh, dude, Michigan and Ohio hate each other. I was like, oh, I don't fucking know.
I do.
Fuck you guys too, whatever.
I do watch college football. I like it just because I like the. You know what I like? I like.
There's guys on the team that are going to be fucking accountants.
This 100%, but
it's like watching a softball game with Eric Burns coming down to hit bombs off scrubs.
They try those accountants try so hard.
I call them. That's so funny. The guy's talking shit to me. I would hashtag him try hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, you're never going to be. You can't talk shit about a movie that made me a millionaire. Like, that's you gotta come smarter than that.
And you know what? Here's the thing, guys. This is what's amazing to me. We have become so tribal that you refuse.
But we've always been that.
Yes, but
social media helps us.
Yes.
Get back to
you
our
refuse
ignorant
to
roots.
Turn those cynical eyes inward to your own tribe. So if you are,
I just think their IQ was too low to get the way I wrote it.
I understood what you. I went back and read.
And if I would have known you could get into Ohio State with a sub 2.0 GPA, I'd have gone to college too.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Someone sent me a joke.
Yeah.
They said, hey, if you want to know how to get an Ohio State fan to leave you alone, just pay him for the pizza. He'll leave.
Oh my God.
I was like, yo, dude. And he had like a John Harbaugh or whichever Harbaugh coaches the team in his profile.
That's hilarious.
Dude, how long have you had that joke? I didn't know this was such a huge thing.
Huge thing.
By the way, I was saying maybe don't equate the guy to a criminal, which technically would make me on their side because time served is a term reserved for the court system, not a paid leave of absence. But right on, do you stay stupid, keep hating.
Super tribal, super tribal. But
Super Tribal. That's a great punk band name.
Super Tribal
Super
is.
Tribal. And you're the one that always comes up with the sweet band name. And this time I called one from you.
I like that. And then their first album's called Electric Fence.
This should be everybody's first single ever. That's the best. Call your friend Haley. That should be her next single.
Electric Fence.
It could be pop.
Oh, yeah.
Because it could be like a song about young love. It's dangerous.
Yes.
You want to get close and touch it. But, ooh, you might get shot, girl. See what I'm saying?
And the other one is like,
fun.
I want a girl. The other one is like, girl, I want to touch your bump, electric fence.
Oh, you're making it about the sweet spot.
Yeah.
You went Rick James with it.
Yeah. Oh.
I was more Al Green with it. You went more Rick James.
We could have walked, but Rick James walks into his songs. Yeah, girl. You know I want to touch that electric fence.
I love when you hate when rappers do it, but I love when rappers do it.
I fucking hate when they
Been
walk.
gone a long time, y'all.
Oh, we know.
But I'm back.
We know you're back. We can hear you talking.
But I'm back.
Yeah.
With another track. And I love it, because I talk back to them, man. I have full-on conversation, and then they rap for me.
Why you say you're back on? They said they're back on every track. We listened to track 2. Track 2, you were back. You're back on track 3. I assumed you would be because you're the
back
2.
on all 12
Yeah,
tracks.
you're back on all 12 tracks.
You have to be, man. Otherwise, you're gone. So you got to be back. Teaching you about the hip hop game.
You gotta be gone.
I'm trying to defend my hip hop guys. Yo, I'm back.
Yeah, it's true.
This is my first record, but I'm back.
If you're not back, you are gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
I never made a record, but I know you were waiting a long time. I'm back.
Yo, I'm back from the store. And I thought
You can't sit back from the store.
I thought I'd make you a record in my basement.
Oh my God.
Yo, I'm back. Why? Back from where? Where'd he go?
Back, man. He's back. He was on leave from the hip hop game, but the hip hop game was calling him like the crime game called Carlito, and now he's back.
Good reference. But
Sometimes she's back.
I guess my question is this.
Sometimes they're both
In
back.
between every album, are you retiring?
It's not that you're
Are
retired.
you going somewhere? Are you doing something else?
You're taking consider it time served. It's a paid leave of absence.
But so every movie, when you walked onto the set after a new movie, you walked on, you're like, I'm back.
Well,
even though you'd never been on that set before?
Not until the first scene. And then right after we would get that first like, and cut, I'd go, yo, everybody, I'm back. I was gone for 3 months.
But now I'm back.
But now I'm back. I auditioned for some other shit. I didn't get that. But I'm back.
I actually took a trip. It was actually nice. Took a trip. We were there for a couple days, but now I'm back.
I went and saw my mom. Hadn't seen her in a while, but I'm back.
You guys ever had that hot chicken in Nashville? I'm back. But then the next day, did you show up the day 2, like on track 2? Yo, you know, I know you saw me yesterday.
I think I would have gone further in my career had I known that was the move. But I only did it on day 1.
Oh, you should have done it.
And then on the last day, you hit him with, hey, don't worry, everybody, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
In 3 months.
After
I do press for that last one.
Wait.
Then I'm back.
Here's a good question that I know people want to know because I actually don't know the right answer to this either.
What?
Sometimes you see somebody on the Tonight Show and they're promoting a movie and they've got long hair, full beard.
Yeah.
And then they go to the clip of them in the movie.
And they're all like,
and they're 40 pounds heavier. And they're like, what? How long between? Is that person in the long hair and beard probably already shooting another movie?
For sure. 100%. And sometimes they've already shot another one and are shooting a third. Like a movie takes anywhere from like 9 months to 2 years to come out after you're
done shooting?
After you're done with it. They have to color correct everything, which is a digital process that takes time. They do that actually here where we record at Blacklist.
Oh, is that right?
They have to add the music, they have to write the music, they have to edit the film, they get notes, they have to re-edit the film.
So how long does it take to shoot, say if I know some indies can take like 30 to 35 days.
Sure.
But like a studio film.
Okay, so let's not say it's $100 million movie. Let's just say it's like an average time length. So 3 to 4 months would be the basic production, actual physical production time.
Okay.
So from the start of shoot date to the end of shoot date. Post-production could take longer than the physical production, depending on what the needs are. Music, sound, gaffers, looping, all those things that I mentioned earlier. Then you have to find the right release date for it, which hopefully people have been working out during this process, but it may be another 6 months down the road because they don't want to compete against this Julia Roberts romantic comedy that's going to crush you if you go up against it. Not that that ever happened to me 3 times. Anyway.
Did it?
Man, that girl. I'm like, yo,
she was hot.
They're like, yeah, but it's counter programming. I'm like, to everyone?
Yeah.
Like, what, you inviting seals to the a big following from fucking ocean. So anyway, so then more time takes place. Sometimes a movie may get pushed back because they want to do reshoots on it.
Right.
So you could look completely different by the time you might not even remember the scene that they're going to show the people because it's been a year since you've done it.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to go on and basically be fresh about this movie you're promoting when you could be in the middle of a completely different role.
I mean, look, I've seen Harrison Ford on Conan O'Brien talk about, and you can YouTube this, talk about K-12 The Widowmaker, which was a movie, the first time National Geographic financed a movie, and it was about this Russian submarine, and he was so lit when he went out there that he didn't give 2 shits.
He was high?
I think so, yeah. He's not a dick, so I'm pretty sure he was just blazed out, but he literally was like, I don't know why National Geographic even made this. I mean, and why would you put me in it? And why do they have to have Russian accents? I do a horrible Russian accent.
Is that true?
Yeah, you YouTube it. It is hysterical. And I remember watching that and being like, wow, that is, like, I just don't have that in me. But I wasn't never at that level. But I guess maybe if I was at that level, you could have a fuck it day. Because you're allowed 1, right?
And that age.
Like Office Space, you're allowed 1 fuck it day. I don't know. It's probably 50s. But he was still Harrison friggin' Ford, man. Like, so I guess he probably gets as many fuck you days as he wants. But this day was beautiful. Because it wasn't mean-spirited in any way. It was just
Did he have
amazing.
his earring yet?
I don't think so.
Pre-earring, all right. That's
I don't think so.
He goes through stages. There's earring Harrison Ford.
He's so badass, dude.
Dude, he looks still.
People like.
I want to be Harrison Ford.
Anytime he's interviewed, he just says something that like sums it up for me all the time. Where they're like, you know, people criticize you for just replaying the same role. How do you feel about it? He goes, it's a living.
Yeah, doing all right.
He's like, yo, man, like, how many houses do I have? Like, I have a successful son who like has 27 restaurants. Like,
you know why I wasn't worried about crashing my plane? Because I got more planes.
Like Callista Flockhart's my wife, and I'm in my 70s. Like, dude, all right,
dude,
criticize me.
Yeah, I'll put an earring in, whatever.
Like, I build cottages in my backyard because I'm a carpenter.
It's so crazy. Let me ask you.
Just finished a wood chair.
How about this for a great Mount Rushmore?
What?
Because you mentioned Harrison Ford's accents. So worst.
Oh shit.
So like.
Oh shit. This is gonna be tough, man.
So
You're asking me to go in on my countrymen.
We'll go worst, but we'll do worst this way, okay? It'll be a bigger pool than just accent. Remember how I mentioned that De Niro was the worst athlete I've ever seen in a movie, right? So worst.
Right. Was he?
Oh, he was so bad. Okay. So worst at doing.
Not Corbin Burnson in Major League.
He can be on your list.
Okay.
Worst at doing what you're supposed to be doing. So whether it's an accent, whether it's dancing.
Y'all better not be mean and call me out on Summer Catch, man.
Whether it's
busted ass
whether it's a dancing, whatever it is, accent, whatever you were supposed to do in that movie.
Yeah.
You were bad.
Why you keep saying you?
Not you.
Looking right
I don't mean like
me.
you. I mean like you know what I mean? Like not you, but like
all the bad shit you did.
The
you
collective
specifically in every film you made, Freddie.
No.
What would be the 4 worst?
Mount Rushmore, and we
such
each do 4.
You just make it worse and worse.
All right, I saw one of your home movies. I gotta tell you something. All right,
That's cold.
so go. You will do that Mount Rushmore. Look where we already are. We're already at like 20 minutes. So I know you want to talk about WWE.
I like talking WWE.
I have 1 or 2 takes. I'm a little confused. I'm super excited that the Crazy Rich Asians did well.
Yeah?
I've been super confused by whatever backlash there is. You know, we were talking to John about it a little earlier, and I was asking a friend of mine also. And for some reason, people are a little uptight about the title, just like I hear people go with the title Blackish on ABC. What if there was a show called Whitish? Well, what if there was? Okay.
It's really funny.
Who cares? Why does that title bother people?
White people want to be the victim in our society so bad, so Josh Wolfo bad, that I find it hysterical. Like when the predominant class or race or religion or whatever it is starts crying, woe is me, or starts going, let them eat cake, bad shit happens to that side of the fence, yo. Like, white people, understand something. Not every television show, not every movie, and not every type of music is going to be specifically catered for your cultural relevance. Just like in Star Wars, when everybody freaked out that it wasn't an average white guy like John McClane or Luke Skywalker, that it's a fucking girl. She could never beat a guy. They completely forget about the Force and all that stuff. Now it's just average man versus woman.
They also forget we're talking about a make-believe world.
It doesn't matter. It all boils down to this.
Yeah.
Everything has been catered to them. So the moment something isn't, they're so quick to shit on it, and then they get this lashback. Is that the right word? Lashback, right? They get this like backlash. That's what it is. I'm just dyslexic today. They get this backlash that is warranted, and then they play victim. They literally go, oh, because people go, dude, you just don't fucking get it. That's literally the definition of racism. Like, oh, no, that's reverse racism. You calling me racist? Oh, well, fuck you. I can't have an opinion. Well, no, you can't have racist opinions. I mean, you can, but if you put them out there, evolved people who are on Twitter and don't mind engaging with idiots are gonna go, yo, bro, you're a fucking racist idiot. And if you don't get that, cool. I'm not here to educate you. I'm here to laugh at you or be entertained by you. And racists do both for me.
Yeah.
So
but what
it's a simple thing, bro.
I just don't understand.
It's a simple thing. Well, if I wrote a show called Crazy Rich Asians, they'd call me racist. Well, since you grew up in a white culture, why would you want to write a show called Crazy Rich Asians? So it's just not like,
I'm totally
people
with you,
don't get it, man.
totally
they want everything in their bubble.
I still, and by the way, I don't agree with it, but at least I understand that tribal part. I like I said, I don't agree with it, but I understand the tribal aspect of, well, it's not in my tribe, so I'm not fuck that. But for somebody to have a problem with the title, I don't even understand the argument, because they're like, well, it's race.
Because they want to be victims. You got to understand.
But it's not about them.
But it always has been. Do you not see what I'm saying? Like, it's always been about white people. From the day this country was founded, from the Native Americans, stolen. From that moment, this country has been all about white people.
Yes.
So anytime something's not, they flip the fuck out. And then if you criticize them for flipping out, they get to become victims, which they've never gotten to do in our country's history. Ever. Yeah. Black people have been victimized. The Chinese were victimized. The Japanese were victimized. These are all American citizens getting victimized, okay? Latinos victimized. Gay people victimized. Jewish people victimized. Every single race, creed, culture that isn't white in this country has been victimized by white people at some point. And white people are having to, that weren't born of that generation, like, why are you punishing me for shit my great-great-great-grandfather did? This is a, I want to be a victim mentality. They're not trying to punish you for what your grandpa did. Read what you wrote again. Get that it was fucking racist and stupid. Smarten up, or don't, but move the fuck on. Yeah. But that's what it is. Like, and then women with the Me Too movement and saying, yeah, sexually harassed, and Les Moonves saying things in print like, look, it's just the way it was. I didn't even know it was bad. That literally is the definition of white privilege that people are trying to educate people of white privilege on. I want you to stay bigoted because it's fun for me, and I know that people aren't going to change. It's a lyric from a song. People don't change, they just get older. That's it, man. I know that's cynical, but that's it.
It's such a shame.
Nothing's changed since the days of the cavemen. The cavemen. Nothing has fucking changed.
Oh, dude,
the world around us has changed.
You didn't know that cavemen hated Asian people. You seen all the drawings on the wall?
All I'm saying is people have never, ever changed. You can't get the dominant class to do the right thing unless you threaten them with things like jail or death or religion. Mm-hmm. You'll go to hell if you live your life like this. Those are the only or a revolution. Like, these are the only things that stop dominance, because dominance is dominance.
Yeah.
So to see them play victim is super duper. And look, I'm majority white. My dad was half Puerto Rican. Yeah. I'm a Puerto Rican, which, by the way, someone in baseball had a jersey that said Puerto Rican on the back.
Really?
Yeah, someone sent it to me on Twitter. I was like, dog, you better give me credit for that, you son of a gun. That's the only thing in my life. That and my kids. But I lost where I was going with this. But anyway, you get the point.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
fucking rambling. Like, nobody's trying to say fuck you white people. They're just trying to say, dog, there's a world outside your bubble that you're not able to see, and that's not your fault, but I'm letting you know there is, and now if you don't look, it is your fault. Yeah, that's all it is.
And by, like, for me, it's like, you know, it's also intent, everybody. So if a bunch of Asian people want to make a movie called Crazy Rich Asians, it's they're laughing at themselves.
Yeah, but that's not it. That's not what white people are doing. If there was a show called Whitish, yeah, everybody. That's what they're trying to say. That's what they're trying to say. And that's that victim mentality. That's bullshit.
What I don't understand is, like, go ahead, write a show called Whitish, and if it's funny, guess what, guys? Funny shows get on TV.
Yeah.
Funny shows get on TV. If you write a funny show called Whitish,
there are white stand-up comics that make fun of how funny it is to be white. And they get huge fucking laughs.
Guys.
How goofy and weird it is.
Right.
Oh, I got sunburn. Oh, I need SPF 3000. Like, I've seen their acts, and they've killed. Now, and nobody's like going, oh, poor guy, he needs sunblock. And he's not upset that you're not saying that.
By the way, is there a wave in Hollywood right now to hire women to make black projects, to make Asian projects, Latino projects? Yes. Why? Not to replace white people, guys. And this is the way I would look at it, and it had to be explained to me.
They're taking white jobs. Why can't they just be getting jobs?
Yeah, it had to be.
Why do they have to be white jobs? Why do they have to be man jobs? Why can't they just be jobs?
The way it was explained to me, dude, and it was explained to me by my sister-in-law, who's black. And I told her, and I was a little ignorant about it, but I was just like, I don't understand, totally get how good Black Panther is and all, but what am I missing? Why are black folks like, we have to go see this movie? And she said, just picture this. Picture you're a young black kid, and every show you turn on and every movie you turn on, either you're not represented, so you never see anybody who looks like you, or
you're inaccurately represented.
The people that represent you are represented in the same way, whether they're crackheads or they're the hard ass sergeant in the police station. Just picture it being represented the same way, and never getting that superhero, never getting to see somebody who looks like you, who can save the world.
Yeah.
And she said that is what she said. So it's not that I don't want. She said I wouldn't want every station to be 100% black, and it shouldn't be. You know why? That's not how we're represented in this country.
Not at all.
She said, but we're just asking to be represented.
Accurately
yes.
Represented. It's why John Landis, the legend behind Trading Places and Coming to America, gets so much love in the black community. And I've spoken with John a lot lately, and I've heard tons of stories, black people talking about John Landis movies. And I've literally heard the term honorary brother, because he was Jewish, and so it also been shit upon. So he got that part of it. But they said he always represented black people in a more honest light than the rest of Hollywood around him when he was making those movies. Like, you could get behind Eddie Murphy because you knew people were allowing Eddie to be Eddie. Like, it wasn't any sort of Hollywood machine. Well, we got to do this to you and you have to be less threatening. And the light-skinned black guys work more than the dark-skinned black guys. So if you could do something about that, what the fuck? Like, but that was legit in the 70s and 80s. Like, if you were dark-skinned, you were considered threatening, and by racist, disgusting standards. So every once in a while, you can get accurate representation, but why can't it be consistent? If a black director is gonna, and a black writer and black actors are gonna work together on a movie, I promise you, it's gonna be an accurate representation of a community. Why couldn't...
Have you seen the show Atlanta?
No, I don't watch TV though, but
so
it's so, and it's only a small number. People forget Twitter is a small number. It's not an accurate representation of the world. But there was this number of people who were so upset that it was an all-black production, and people, and that African Americans and black people everywhere were taking pride in this, and they tried to set up protests in local communities over a super fuck hero movie. Like, that's the level of IQ that you're talking about here. It's literally like carrot. There's not a number. Carrot. It's like root vegetable is where they're at, because that's what they're investing their fucking time in, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, you just took an IQ test. What was my IQ? Carrot. So I have some job ideas for you.
You'll deliver pizza for Ohio State.
How do you feel about being a post? Basically, at your intelligence level, if you can
hold
stand
this
there
light up
and hold a sign
from
or
6
a light
p.m. to 5 a.m.
Your house is gonna have some sweet delts, dude.
He will
One delt would be fucking.
Yeah. After 3 months, you crow to the other side of the street, then you work.
You just hold that one up.
Yeah.
You say anything pose the whole time. Buddy, I know you want to talk a little WWE.
We'll be quick though.
It doesn't matter to me how long you take.
All right.
I know you want to talk a little WWE. I'm glad we get to talk about the podcast. So I do want to say that I know people. I was in Ann Arbor this weekend, and I did have a bunch.
Oh
of
yeah,
people.
that's how this whole conversation started 20 minutes ago.
Oh, because I was going to tell you about this woman in the crowd, but it's not important. But
okay.
I did have some people. We took pictures with our underwear, our prominent underwear.
Nice.
Not in our underwear, but we pulled up the straps.
You had the little Mac Weldies.
There are more Prince and the Wolf fans that show up to the shows wearing the Mac Weldons.
That's awesome / weird.
/awesome. And I love that every now and then, here's what happens. This is the best thing about Prince and the Wolf fans. They'll just kind of walk by before, they're not disruptive, they just walk by and they go, prominent. That's it. I'm like, oh shit.
Before the show even starts.
Someone just...
You're like getting a beer.
Flash bomb to
that's
prominent.
That's like me playing Xbox.
Yeah.
Hey, prominent, bro.
Prominent dick hug.
Get those dick hug seeds today, Pirate. I'm like, the fuck? I'm trying to play my game. Hitting me with dick hugs.
Guys, all I can tell you is this. The Mac Weldon craze is sweeping the nation.
It's real.
It's now time for, if you haven't hopped on board, if you've tried the underwear and you're like, you know what? I want to try some of those hoodies. Guess what? Winner. I want to try some of those joggers. Winner.
And look in your underwear drawer. However many pairs have a hole or holes, or the elastics whack, you probably have 4 pairs in there that are like this. Throw those the hell out.
Yeah.
And just get 1 pair of Mac Weldies if that's what you're looking for. I promise you, you will either wash them every day or be like, fuck it, I'm getting a bunch more.
Let me tell you something else. And guys, you know how massive my legs are.
What?
Huh? You know how they're just brick-like sturdy mother.
Like the rocks, you mean?
Like rock legs. My Mac Weldons stay tight on my legs all day. How about that? I know they're massive.
The Rock's probably the only one who can't wear Mac Weldons, because his legs, one leg is more than both of yours together.
Yes, but he probably needs a dick. You know, I mean...
Man, that dick's getting hugged left and right. Don't worry about that Rock dick.
Guys, if you haven't tried Mac Weldon, MacWeldon.com, I don't know really what you're waiting for. If for a gift for your buddy, maybe not your buddy, but your husband or your boyfriend, a gift.
Or gift for yourself.
Gift for yourself. Guys, the socks are the bomb.
And we haven't lied to y'all yet. Not yet.
As a matter of fact, there are things people ask us to do reads for, and we say no because we would never use that.
By the way, if Sake wants to let us do a read, I'll do some Japanese sake.
Yeah, if the marijuana industry wants me to read something.
The whole industry.
Yeah, the entire industry, if they just want to go, hey, read something. And I'll be like, cool.
Mary had
Mary had a little Jane.
that smoked it all the way.
I might write
and
that.
And everywhere that Mary went, the kids came out to play. Sorry.
Because Mary was super high. And she had lots of treats. So
and you can put Mac Weldon on your booty or on both of your feet.
Yeah! Yeah! You heard him. MacWeldon.com,
That's called the
everybody.
team rap game right there.
Promo code PROMINENT, all caps, PROMINENT. I'm going to tell you something else. Mac Weldon has said that if they get a certain amount of orders, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but they're like, hey, listen, if we get a certain amount of orders, we'll pony up some cash, and we'll have you do a video in your underwear promoting our underwear.
You, not me.
Me, yeah. So
get your own dick hugged on that one.
Yeah, I'll
buddy.
dick hug it, and guys, you can see how tight these things grip my legs.
You be doing your Marky Mark action, baby.
But it'll be a funnier.
Boston boys.
It'll be funnier than
but sexy.
Marky Mark. Funny, sexy.
You got the PS too.
You mean PS? PS4. I'm a PS4. So, guys, Mac Weldon, prominent, PROMINENT.
There you go.
Promo code is 20% off if you punch that in, and you definitely should.
There you go.
How was that?
Good.
Was that good?
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel like the rap. I think I'm getting better. I've been practicing the raps in my hotel rooms by myself.
You made it sound all sad at the end.
No.
You started off all, you're like, I've been practicing the raps in the hotels by myself. Why'd you go all down like that? That was so weird.
I forgot to tell you what the fuck. Okay, I'm in the hotel in Ann Arbor, and the housekeeper.
Yeah.
So the first day, I have the sign on because I'm tired. Second day, I have the sign off, and I see him in the morning. I go, what's up? And I walk out. He goes by my room. I come back, later, 5 hours later, room's still not clean, but he's in there. And I go, hey man. I go, are you getting in here? And he goes, no, I didn't do your room. I go, why? That's what he goes. You look like the kind of guy who doesn't want me in his room.
No way!
And I said, you're right. I really don't want you.
No way.
He goes, you look like the kind of guy who doesn't want me in his room.
Tell me you guys went out for burgers.
I was like,
this is the coolest.
He goes, you want towels? I go, yeah, I'll take some towels.
You've got to be. This sounds like the coolest dude.
Dude, first of all, I mean, no, not for nothing.
Dude, I
had never
Michigan
seen
right now.
a 35-year-old white dude
be
the. That's not racist. That's not something I'd ever seen. A 35-year-old white
I've still
guy
never seen that.
be the housekeeper.
Well, see.
So it was like
everybody
a real.
getting kicked out. Now he's got a job. There you go.
Yeah, it was a super bro experience.
He's like, hey man, we're good.
But
that is the coolest hotel employee that I've ever heard of or met. I've met some cool ones. Yeah. I met some that were not cool. I met one guy that was mad funny when I did the convention in Boston. Yeah. And he sent me to the wrong floor. And he goes, no, that's the right floor. It's 1634. That's your room. I go, bro, will you do me a favor and look on this key and see what you wrote?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, see, 1534. I go, yeah, so where am I supposed to be? He was like, sorry, Mr. I was like, we're good.
He was being all cool.
But I went down twice, and he's like, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, man, that's weird to just tell the customer they're wrong. Yeah. But okay. And then I wasn't going to lose my cool because Christopher Lloyd was standing behind me for Doc motherfucking Brown. I'm not, I got to stay cool, dude.
I wish
Doc
I had
Brown.
Doc Brown hair.
And I was like, so what does this say? He's like, that's 6 foot. I was like, so what are we doing, bud? So I should go to the 16th floor?
What's our game plan now?
He's like, yeah, sorry about that. I was like, all right, cool.
Dude, I will tell you, I wish I had kept my Doc Brown hair for when I was there.
You could do a good Doc Brown cosplay.
I got the.
Yeah.
I don't have it right now.
We could get you a white lab coat.
I watched.
A flux capacitor.
I watched Back to the Future again.
Such a good flick, though. Such a good flick, man.
It's number 2 was good too. The third one was so bummed.
Yeah, the second one, my issue with it was it didn't come out for like 2.5 years. It was like the longest friggin'.
Is that true?
It was like I mean, maybe even to date.
Did he
still.
do a bunch of movies in between?
I don't remember, dude. You're asking me my memory
Yeah.
to go too far back. But there was like a 2-year gap between the first two, and it was such a big thing. There was no social media to bitch out loud then. You just had to go, why? And nobody heard you. Still, nobody hears you, but now you feel heard.
Right.
But it was such a big deal that at the end of Back to the Future 2, they played the trailer for Back to the Future 3. So you knew, shit, it's coming right around the corner.
Right at the very
Because
end.
they were like, hey, that's our way of saying sorry.
Yeah.
But 3 was doo-doo, that's it.
2.
Just like Godfather 3.
2.
Just like most 3s.
3 was in Godfather 3 was.
It's
Although
unwatchable.
Austin Powers 3, Gold Member.
You know what? Yeah, there probably have been some good 3s. Because
Rocky
that's
3?
a great 3. Yeah, okay, so I'm wrong. So,
No,
but you're dead on, and
I
I
don't
was.
have any more.
I'm sure there are. 'Cause that was 2 seconds, and you came up with like 2 of the greatest.
But those are the only 2 that
Sequels
How
ever.
many Cannonball runs were there? 2?
Probably just 2.
Smokey and the Bandits.
There wasn't 3s on those.
No.
Lethal Weapon 3. That was the Leo Getz one with Joe Pesci.
Oh, I love that one.
Who gets fucked? Leo gets fucked.
Wait, the first one was South African.
No, second one South Africa. First one was Gary Busey, Mr. Joshua, heroin, the guy's daughter jumping off. Second one was South Africa, and then the guy's like, diplomatic immunity, and Danny Glover clicks his neck. Boom! It's just been revoked.
Is that one better than the original?
2 is 2 better than 1? I think so.
I think so.
I think most people would say 1 is better than 2.
Really?
I think that's the hardcores would say that. But that said, Lethal Weapon 3 is for sure the funniest.
Yeah, I might even.
By the way, Rocky 3, not good.
Not good?
No.
I,
No, the one in Russia, think about
that's
it.
4.
Oh, was that 4?
Clubber Lang 3.
Oh, I said Rocky. I meant Rambo.
Oh, Rambo 3.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's First Blood
And then Rambo.
and then Rambo, which
Both
was great.
Rambo 3 was the one in Afghanistan with the Russian helicopter.
yeah.
Doo-doo stew, man. And he was like pit fighting in the beginning. Like, we gotta get you out of this pit fighting. We gotta save America. It was doo-doo.
I wonder if you add it up. Somebody should go.
Revenge of the Nerds 3, unwatchable.
Unwatchable. Somebody should add up and just take all of Stallone's grunts out of First Blood, Rambo,
You know
and then
they
the
did that
third
with Owen
Rambo.
Wilson, but with WoW, right?
No. Out of all the movies?
They took every Owen Wilson WoW and put it as the sound effect in every lightsaber fight ever in Star Wars. And it's like an 11-minute video on YouTube, and it's just wow, 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 wow. And someone should do that with Stallone grunts, and then it would be like,
That's amazing.
that Stallone I think might be better.
The Stallone grunts would be good. Or what else could we put the Stallone grunts in?
Anything.
I mean,
Just replace the sounds to any sport that you ever loved with Stallone grunts.
what about
Tennis, a tennis match?
Oh, instead
And
of
instead of the female yells, instead of like Serena going, ah, and the other girl going, ah, you just have,
what about instead of Michael Jackson's?
Stupid.
He just went. Well, you can replace all those with hoo-ahs too. Hoo-ah!
I mean, anyone who has a signature,
Yeah.
like go-to type thing like that. It has to be a noise though. There's not many people that can
Yeah.
do a noise.
You think Pacino's mad that hoo-ah is gonna be what people remember?
I don't think Al Pacino has been mad since he was about 26,
Yeah, he didn't give a
27 years
fuck,
old,
does
my
he?
man. Like,
He's dating. Ready for this?
whoever he wants.
He's dating a woman. Okay. Beth and I just saw this. It was the craziest thing. So there was this little girl that Jacob went to preschool,
Okay.
and little.
This is starting off weird, but all right.
I think she had a Venezuela. I think we're from Venezuela. Her and her mom, and Camilla was the mom's name. So a few years later, we see that Camilla's dating Al Pacino, and she was 32, he was 60, whatever. And so we see a picture this week where it says Camilla and Al Pacino and Leonardo DiCaprio and Camilla's daughter, which is who Jake went to school with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look at, it's so crazy for me to see somebody that Jacob went to kindergarten with dating a person Like being a grown-up is what I mean.
Oh wait, the daughter was dating Leonardo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would trip me out.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Because you only know her
as this.
Okay, so like Machen Amick, the actress, who I think you may have met. She was on my sitcom back in the day. She was on Twin Peaks and is on Riverdale. Mm-hmm. Her daughter Mina, I've known since she was 11. Mina is now 22. That's so weird to say. She is in the music industry. She's doing very well, and her mom will send me like a music video they did together, and I'm like, what the fuck is she wearing?
Yeah.
And Mina literally ran me and be like, don't worry about what I'm wearing. I'm 22. I'm like, look, when I was, you're a kid to me. Like, you were 11 asking my wife what book she read because you love to read.
To see Camilla's daughter on a yacht with Leonardo DiCaprio was mine. I showed Beth, I go, do you know what that is?
What's the little girl's name? Or grown-up's name?
Camilla.
I will say this. Camilla's daughter understands the basic fundamentals in a superior fighting actor, or she would have dated someone else.
Well, listen,
How much time do we have left before you make a foolish argument?
Here's what I think it is. She knew that she's safe with old Skinny Fat, because even if he wanted to hurt her, he couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag. That soft motherfucker.
He never would. In fact, he would teach her the skills of range and length, and that would dominate all tiny people all over the land. But I'm not talking about anyone in particular. Just tiny people that run really hard.
He does run so hard. I don't know if he runs fast, but he runs hard. He runs hard as shit.
Like a 20-second 100-yard dash, but it looks like he's super cool.
I said that to Beth when we were watching Mission Impossible. I turned to her, I go, I don't know how fast he's running, but he's working really hard at it.
I would love to see him like race a 12-year-old and get fucking smoked. When people would see the difference between what running looks like when a camera is on a dolly floating past you to make the scenery look like it's going by quicker.
Tell people, do you make people look faster?
Oh yeah.
To tell people how
okay, so you start the camera at an angle where they're running not directly toward it, right? You're just sort of off to the side, pointing it at like a 45-degree angle. And as they run on a straight line, not toward camera, mind you, the straight line, you're on the 45-degree angle, you move in toward them, and as they pass camera, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see my hand be the camera, and it'll make this move. It pushes in toward them, and as they pass the camera, it moves out this way. And it gives the audience the illusion of flying through frame.
It's getting to you quickly and then flying past you.
Getting away from you quickly as well.
So the trick
is how they make the flash look quick.
The trick is to move
your arms.
Because he moved.
You gotta pump your arms, otherwise it looks funky, like it kind of looked funky in Justice League, when he didn't do the correct run, and you can kind of see that in a couple scenes where he wasn't moving quick enough and his arms looked kind of loosey goosey.
You know who's a terrible runner? Who I love. And I think anything he's in, I'm like, dude, this dude is so watchable. But I saw him in the last Jurassic Park. Dude, Chris Pratt is not a runner.
No?
Not a good runner.
He was a legit wrestler, though.
Yeah, no.
That's a guy.
Physical dude.
You could put Tom Cruise and Leo, and I'm not even joking, same time, he'll whip both their asses.
Well, he's a big person.
Either way, he'll whip both their asses. He could be a small person. I'm telling you, dude, wrestlers they're just a different breed, man.
He was a good wrestler?
Yeah, and his brain is just, they're wired. My best friend is a wrestler, was a wrestler. His son is now wrestling. His dad and his twin brother were the Werner twins at Iowa State.
Yeah.
Whatever their logo is. They're like famous national champion wrestlers. He was smart and a great wrestler, so he took an academic scholarship because he didn't want to cut weight anymore. But I've seen those guys, like I've rolled with him, and there's gangsters always go in the NBA. They're like, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
There are levels in the fight game, and wrestlers are above. If I didn't know how to do other stuff, like Nick could whip my ass, and probably could in some other instances too. He just doesn't know how to throw a punch. Sorry, bro. I love you, man. He's better at video games than me too.
I'd take Chris Pratt in a fight over Leo and Tom Cruise.
Same time. he will whip them both.
If you add
he would KO your boy and in one shot.
What if you add
and then he would single leg Leo and
what if we add one of the other Mighty Mites in there and we put in Daniel Craig? So it's 3 against 1, but they're all 5.
I don't know anything about Daniel Craig and if he trains or not. You know, I know he's got a lot of muscles. That's all I know about Daniel Craig.
Tire out fast.
Yeah, but muscles don't mean you can fight.
That's what I mean.
And James Bond looked good.
Oh, we're at
but, well, it happens,
okay.
Josh.
I know. It always happens for us.
Well, you know, we still kick ass, though.
I know.
Let's talk about Daniel Craig.
Okay.
Because I watched that James Bond movie, and I was watching the grappling in there, and he didn't know where to put his legs, because that's more a habitual thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude, like, his shit looked good. So he might have trained a little bit.
You know, I will tell you that him as Bond,
yeah,
I like those Bond movies more than any other Bond movies because they were so dark.
More than like the old school ones?
More.
Whoa.
It's a different style. It's
for sure a different
It's a different style, but I like a dirtier Bond. I like, you know, there was a fight, that close fighting scene.
It was very uncomfortable.
In the staircase.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, very uncomfortable. Yeah,
but
in a good way.
Great.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah, but I love how they made him a little dirtier.
And you could hear him struggling like that, and you could hear like when people were in pain, like
he was bruised.
It felt very real.
Yeah, I really liked. Was that Casino Royale?
It was the first one he did. It was the first of 3.
I really liked him because he was also much like today's entertainment. He was way more of a gray area person.
Well, he's the modern protagonist.
Yes.
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a shady Han Solo,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
We're gonna break the archetypes. We're gonna blend 2 of them together and create this new sort of superhuman, which is good for movies and bad in some ways too, because it lessens the old school protagonist. Now, when you seem heroic, you're corny.
Yes.
And she's because that guy would say that, right? And writers write to that. So he was the first one to really do that, whereas his predecessor was Pierce, who was very English and proper.
Smooth.
Smooth. Timothy Dalton was very introverted, very dark and brooding, but the movie didn't lend itself to dark and brooding like they do now. So that one people felt kind of about, from Living Daylights to License to Kill, whatever the other one was. And then Roger Moore would be the perfect example of the dead protagonist, because now we're kind of like, wah, wah.
What about Sean Connery?
He was number 1, unless you count George Lazenby, who was like a model guy, but that nobody counts that one. Sean Connery was like the Scottish John Wayne. So it would be like putting the all right Pilgrim, but he was like all right Pilgrim. Right. You know what I mean? But that's who he represented. He was the reluctant hero, which is a term a lot of people, a lot of directors use, a lot of writers use. Like, yeah, I'll save the world. I'm gonna fuck this girl and drink a martini first, but then I'll save the world. Right. Don't scratch my car. And now the saying is hold my beer, right? But it's the same thing. It's all the same character. They just sort of evolve as the dialogue evolves. But that's sort of like the growth of Bond. And I'll be real with you, dude. My favorite one is Timothy Dalton.
You are in the minority.
100%. There's like 6 people that agree with me. And
why?
I loved that he hated his job. He seemed suicidal. He seemed like a guy who was like on the edge of quitting, killing himself, going fucking postal, going berserk. He stopped giving a fuck about everything and everyone around him, and I really thought it was breaking him down. I get that the movies didn't work because he was doing something that the director wasn't doing, so it felt like 2 different movies. But he's I know that sounds weird, and I admit there's like 6 people that agree with me, and if you want to say I'm wrong, you can say I'm wrong, but that's always been my favorite Bond. Sean Connery's number 1, obviously, but we take him off the list, because that's like when we did the Shirley Temple, Child Star, take her off the list. But besides Sean Connery, he's my number 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then Pierce, and then Daniel Craig, and then Roger Moore.
See, I like the Daniel Craig, maybe because I like the movies more too.
But you're not wrong, though. I mean, whatever you think. By the way, he rocked, to steal from Paul Rudd, he rocked the shit in that one.
I mean, and I really liked, I just liked how I don't want to say he was suicidal, but you
could. I said it about Dalton's character, but you could see he was a guy that was like, I don't care if I die.
But the way
I don't care.
No, I loved it, and honestly, It was little choices he made, like the way he drank and just kind of put down his glass
When he was
nobody
getting
looking.
tortured and finally just started laughing in the guy's face like,
man.
fuck you.
This I love. By the way, that torture was
Brutal. For guys to watch, like girls were watching and like, oh, that's fucked up. Guys were like every time like, oh fuck.
That was so
I don't like this movie. Oh god.
I mean, I couldn't believe. You know, I told you I got hit in the nuts with a like a baseball bat, right?
I don't know, but
I was in college.
Tell me again.
I went to the hospital for like a day and a half. It hurt a lot.
Tell me.
Yeah, I got hit in the nuts with a bat.
How? What happened?
Well, it was actually there was a little bit of a fight, and I
fought a guy with a bat?
No, there was a big fight with a lot of people, and I didn't see this one coming, and I ended up catching a little bit of a bat in the nuts. Yeah, that was not a good couple days for me.
You had to go to the hospital?
Yeah, and then I had to decide between so glad it didn't catch me square. But for a couple days, I had to decide between boxers and briefs because they both had positives and negatives.
Oh, because the boxers could swing,
I didn't like
and
to
you
swing.
don't want to be like clang clang.
But Mac
'cause they were
Weldon's would have been
tender.
too tight.
Yeah, because you need a little bit of.
I need a little breathe.
Yeah, but the clang clang must have.
Clang clang goes to Charlie was not good. Clang
must have
clang
hurt.
clang goes to Charlie. No,
Your nutsack.
let's do this, Mac. Let's do this, Mount Rushmore.
All right, worst accents.
Accents or whatever you like. So you could say for you, somebody who was supposed to be a
that's
great
right,
fighter.
It was yeah.
Somebody who was supposed to be a good fighter. And
Yes.
wasn't, right?
Okay.
So for me, number one, and I've said this a million times, and I think the movie's called Killing Me Softly, and it should have because he was so bad. Robert De Niro, go watch that and see him try to throw a baseball. It is
Killing Me Softly, wasn't that the Brad Pitt movie?
nah.
You thinking The Fan?
No, this was a
Older movie.
Older movie.
Okay, I believe you.
And he played a catcher for the Yankees.
Oh, okay. The people know.
And he might as well have been playing a barista at Starbucks.
Okay.
Because he probably would have looked better doing that. This was the worst person to make look like an athlete.
Oh yeah. Then
But he was great in
riddle me
baseball.
this. I'll stay in the baseball world.
Okay.
And I'll challenge you with someone who so clearly did not give a fuck about baseball technique or doing anything correctly.
Okay.
That even though he was playing someone who actually played the game, he decided to hit from the other side of the plate. Ray Liotta, Field of Dreams.
Oh my God.
Couldn't even hit from the correct fucking side of the plate.
Yeah, you gotta take some.
All
lessons.
he had to do was read the back of a baseball
Yeah.
card to get that right. It tells you if he's left or right-handed and which side he bats from.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I love
And
it.
I love Ray Liotta, but that was a big fuck you.
My next one is, and this is a bit of a disappointment because, I got a little bit of a man crush on this dude. But Tom Cruise's accent in Valkyrie, which he started with and then just gave up on somewhere in the middle of the movie and just went pure American as a German soldier, was a tough pill. Because not only was the accent bad, it was so bad, at some point he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And they were like, yeah, but we got all that in the can. He was like, no, I don't care.
It's like, I'm Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I don't care.
Doesn't fucking matter.
I'll just run a little bit in this tight suit, and then nobody will remember. Move the camera.
It's like he's in an episode of Teen Titans Go, for fuck's sake. All right, staying in that vein,
Okay.
you're inspiring a lot of these and reminding me of horrible ones. I will remind you to the opening scene in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, with a younger Morgan Freeman and a younger Kevin Costner. And in the very first scene, he has not a good, but an English accent that was so bad that at the end of the first scene, they're like, nah, man.
Yeah.
For the rest of the fucking movie, you're Kevin Costner.
I remember that.
So he quit too.
There's that
He
one
just
scene
tapped
where you're
on
like,
it.
good God.
Like,
And then
what
it's-
accent is that? And then the rest go, oh, okay, now I'm over that. Save her!
Yeah.
Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio, run up!
It's almost like everybody was in Video Village. Like,
Like, yo,
is this what he's going to do for the rest of the
Somebody's gonna tell him, right?
Who's gonna tell him?
Producer was like, let's fucking take care of it at the scene. All right, skip through the first day.
Yeah, let's just,
Tomorrow he'll do the regular episode.
we're not gonna piss him off and tell him to reshoot.
All right, so that's my second.
Let me. Should we tell? By the way, Video Village, everybody, is just a place where.
That's where the director, writer, producers all hang out.
And there's screens for them to look, and they have headphones on. Bang the drum slowly. Bang the drum slowly. Bang the drum. Thank you. My third, and this is gonna be. This bothers me more than it should. You remember that really, really extra large guy? He was a Bond villain with the grill. I think he went by Jaws.
Yeah.
You know, in every movie, except for the younger ones. But when he got older, and he was supposed to be this big guy who could beat people up, and you could clearly see that my man couldn't really even walk anymore. He has that giant height where his body got so big.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, even when he was supposed to be throwing punches or taking punches, I was like, you just find another big guy.
Yeah.
Because he clearly,
it's tough though, man.
But your movies were suspending we're walking in going, whatever. But when you're asking me to believe that this dude is a stone cold killer.
Not everyone's as good as Andre the Giant, baby.
I'm saying that. But for me, that kind of stuff where you're like, he clearly is not the dude. He's the guy who's killing everybody. I'm going to just stand behind him. Let's see how long it takes for him to turn around.
Yeah.
So that would be number 3 for me. There are a lot of bigger dudes in movies who fit into that category, but this is the one that I'm remembering.
I'll take a smaller dude that was in a fighting movie.
I know who you're going to pick.
I think you do too. As well executed as the boxing was in Creed from Michael B. Jordan, and as fluid and as smooth, and as the most important thing in a boxing performance is, are your shoulders relaxed? If your shoulders are tight, you're tight, and you don't look like you know how to box, because those guys get knocked out in a round. Like they don't know how to fight. If you're loose and the punches are being thrown out instead of muscled out, then you look legit, because it's legit, and that's how you're supposed to box. Michael B. Jordan, just for whatever reason, maybe he had martial arts training, or it just clicked inside, he could just kill it. The flip side of that coin would be the movie Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, who you could tell worked out like a mug.
Dude, his body was jacked.
He was shredded. You could tell he worked hard, but he was so tight and tense with everything. It looked like a robot fighting, and it was so offsetting that it would sort of take you out of those moments, because all you were doing is like, oh God, like what, how did they not work that out? So that would be, I don't like saying that, but it was so, they came out close enough that I could, when I remember seeing Creed and being like, man, I wish my man could have boxed like this, because Southpaw came out before Creed. Yeah. I was like, because I mean, this guy's got what it takes. And the Gyllenhaal one, it just didn't work. Even Jon Favreau had it flowing in his little box in Made with Vince Vaughn, and he did one as Rocky Marciano. And he even could move left and right and flow a little bit, and it was loosey-goosey. It wasn't all tight. So it's possible, but in this case it wasn't. So that's my 3.
I'm trying now to think of a 4th, because we always come up with this last minute, and
this is your idea.
I know, and I'm trying, one of those things where you can think of, I remember seeing that, but I forget who it was. It was like a musician.
Did you think Keira Knightley's soccer skills were on point? And didn't like Beckham?
What was, yeah, actually it did.
All right. What about my hacky sack skills? And she's all that.
I mean, top notch, dude. How am I? How are you gonna?
Whoever that guy was that did it, I don't remember his name.
You didn't do it. You and your.
I would have been on your list if I did.
You and your stunt double ass and your.
That's right.
Do you have a 4th? Let me see if I can't try to remember. Do you have it?
Yeah. Well, my 4th will be pretty easy, because it was the story that I led with, which was Harrison Ford's Russian accent, which is pretty awesome to listen to and just not see. This was just like, you could tell he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll do a Russian accent. Have you ever done one before? Whatever. All right. You could do Sean Connery as the Russian sub with a Scottish accent.
Well, I am, for the life of me,
it's like Doshvidanya.
Can't remember, and I because I don't want to draw this out, I'll remember the movie and the actor, but it was a Boston accent that was maybe...
it might have been one of them.
What was that?
I did a Boston accent in a movie once.
No. This Boston accent might have been the worst single Boston accent.
So not Corbin Burnson as the third baseman.
No, because nothing beats De Niro in I Can't Throw and I Shouldn't.
I feel you, and it's hard to put anything on De Niro. So the fact that you did that, I won't take it away.
And I won't bore you guys and go to my phone and Google it. But when I find it, I'll Google it out. I mean, I'll tweet it
All
out.
right. So the fourth is TBD.
Yeah, it's a Boston accent. Good Lord, why can't I remember who it was? My brain. I had to high live last night. Extra long.
Extra hot.
Extra high, extra long. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the first time that I haven't come in with a fourth.
It's all right. It was your idea.
I know.
Dick.
I knew you wouldn't let us down. I really just wanted to douse De Niro with.
Yeah, why?
Because he's so.
I feel so bad going in on Gyllenhaal that I had to spend like 10 minutes on how good Michael B was just to like balance it out.
But you weren't saying.
He couldn't come out with 4. He's just too tight.
You know what? Because I could do the entire cast of Valkyrie. Because all of them had British accents.
Gladiator, you couldn't bag on anyone. In the boxing one with Cuba Gooding.
No.
Everybody, and even Brian Denny, he looked like he could box in that fucking movie. No one saw it.
You know, I could get on Scott Wolf for Double Dragon.
Hey! Nice kung fu, bro.
Yeah.
Way to represent the Wolf family.
What do you want to plug, man?
Check us out on YouTube /GEGGHEAD. That's Egghead with a. That's it. Oh, and I'm gonna go to Salt Lake City Fan Expo, but that's not for a few weeks. So
I'll be in Orlando this weekend, 23rd, 24th, 25th at the Improv. I'm in Chicago the 6th, 7th, and 8th of September, and I am on the road basically every week after that. Go to comedianjoshwolf.com for tour dates. Control Chaos tonight. Jason Ellis, super funny guy. Mike Tully, Esther Koo. It's gonna be a great one, and Prince and the Wolf.
Thank you, sir. It was my beatbox for the show.
Oh yeah, we forgot.